call the honourable member for Hughes.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. What's actually very disappointing to have to walk into this chamber and address this most appalling and misleading motion, Deputy Speaker. For all it does is perpetuate a complete hoax. And, Deputy Speaker, it actually shows every reason why this Labor opposition are completely unfit to ever sit on the Treasury benches of this country again, Deputy Speaker. Let's go through the facts. Now, this motion refers to the biggest cuts. Let's go through the facts of actually what is happening to school expenditure in this country, Deputy Speaker. This year, there is an 8.7% increase. 8.7% increase. Next year, Deputy Speaker, it's 8.9%. The year after, Deputy Speaker, it's another 8.9%, and the year after that, Deputy Speaker, it's 6.6%. So in the 4 years, by the time this government, if we run our 3 years in the last budget we will hand down, it will be a 37.4% increase, and this mob walk in here and claim that is a cut. Deputy Speaker, we know that they have simply failed remedial maths at school. 37.4% more money is going to spending on schools, Deputy Speaker. And you know what, Deputy Speaker? I come from a public school background in New South Wales. And for New South Wales public schools, it's even better, Deputy Speaker. The numbers for New South Wales public schools, this year it's 10.2%, the year after 10.6%, the year after that another 14.4%, the year after that 7.2%. In fact, Deputy Speaker, the next 4 years, New South Wales non-government schools will get close to 50% more in their government spending. So let's get that clear, Deputy Speaker. So this government in our last budget will be giving 50% more money to New South Wales public schools than this previous mob did, and they come in here and have the hide to perpetuate this myth that there's somehow cuts to funding, Deputy Speaker. It is simply an absolute hoax, Deputy Speaker. I had a discussion with someone from the Teachers Federation about this hoax, and I said, look, can you explain to me why is this Gonski funding, why is it all backloaded in years 5 and 6? And she scratched her head and said, didn't have a clue. But we know, Deputy Speaker, why it is. Because our forward estimates period for our budgetary purpose in this country are a 4-year period. So if you put expenditure in years 5 and 6, you don't have to show where the money is coming from. And that's what this mob have done, Deputy Speaker, a complete hoax. They are perpetuating a hoax on the schools of Australia. They are perpetuating a hoax on the teachers and the parents. And worst of all, Deputy Speaker, they are perpetuating a hoax on the children of this country. Deputy Speaker, now, we know they believe in magic pudding economics. But we have to ask, Deputy Speaker, where will this so-called mythical $30 billion come from, Deputy Speaker? Well, I'll tell you where it could have come from. If we hadn't have had the 6 years of reckless, wasteful and political motivated spending from this mob, we wouldn't have that interest bill that we have to pay, Deputy Speaker. If we go back 6 years, we never had to pay interest as the Commonwealth Government. We were actually receiving $1 billion a year. But after 6 years of reckless and wasteful spending from this mob, Deputy Speaker, we have to find now $13.5 billion every single year. That's over $1 billion every month that we have to cut that could have otherwise gone to schools because of this mob's reckless spending and their waste and their mismanagement of this country. And they come back into this parliament and carry on about cuts to expenditure. What an absolute disgrace, Deputy Speaker. What an absolute disgrace. What we should be doing, Deputy Speaker, it's about time they put the country first ahead of their own political interests and start talking about how we can do best with the limited funding that we have, Deputy Speaker. And remember, that limited funding for public schools in New South Wales, it'll be 50% more, Deputy Speaker. We need to work out, we need to encourage our kids. We need to tell them about the great future that they have in this country. We need to be talking up those free trade agreements that we've just signed with China and we've just signed with Korea and we've just signed with Japan, Deputy Speaker. We should be talking to them about the opportunities they have from the growing economy of India. That's what we should be talking to, giving incentive to our kids. We should be having, Deputy Speaker, entrepreneurial studies as one of the most important things we do. Instead of this nonsense that we have of sustainability, teaching them low growth, Deputy Speaker. Because we can throw all the money we want at schools, but unless the kids have the motivation to study, Deputy Speaker, that money is wasted. This is an appalling motion, Deputy Speaker. It's an absolute hoax, and Deputy Speaker, it should be condemned.